Well, either way, it won't do anything.
Fiddle with the knobs.
I can tell you.
Fiddle with the knobs and turn me up. That way it evens it out.
Hello and welcome to the Video Gamer UK podcast. My name is Chris Bratt.
Come on, Brad, where's your
have you just
motivation?
shaken your protein shake mid-intro?
Yeah, I'm going to take some
Fucking
omega fats in.
professional
Why
this is.
not?
And today I'm joined by a wonderful selection of video game professionals. We've got the dictator of Watch Dogs over here, Mr. Stephen Burns.
Smug British asshole, Stephen W. Burns.
Our very own child of light, Brett Phipps.
Hello.
And man, I am so excited for the outro you're going to have later on. The outro sting that's going to be added to a video later on today.
It's
Mr.
pretty exciting.
Simon Miller.
My name wasn't as catchy as the rest.
I know, it's because
I'd prefer if you had called me like Balls McGraw or something. Simon Balls McGraw Miller.
That's a rubbish name.
No, it sounds like
offense to anyone that has the
sounds
name
like someone
Balls
like from
McGraw.
the old west that would roll into town,
Balls
shoot some
Western.
heathens, and then be the hero.
You've never
As we
watched a
all-
Western film,
Or
have
we
you?
all chill in the saloon and
I
have a good time playing poker and having whiskey shots.
He's never watched Deadwood.
I've watched lots of westerns.
You watched Deadwood?
No.
Then don't even
That's
talk
not
to me
all the
about
westerns.
westerns.
Have
It's
you watched
the
Good, the Bad, and
Western.
the Ugly? Do you even know what
Yes,
that is?
of course I have.
He's
And
played
who's in
Red
it?
Dead.
You know
I've
what?
read it. What a great game.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's just move on, shall we? Because everyone's getting a little bit aggressive.
You started.
Stephen,
Hello.
how are you? Bring your calming influence to this podcast. Settle everybody down. Talk to us about video games, life, your feelings, anything really. I don't really mind. Actually, not your feelings. That usually gets real dark.
People get really confused by this, like, oh, he's so miserable.
It
I
might-
feel like I have to explain this each time. Is that just because I am aware of the heat death of the universe does not mean that I am miserable. In fact, I'm actually pretty happy about it.
I think it's
I'm
probably
like, well-
because I just added like a soundtrack from when you first discover the Oblivion Gates. As you said that sentence.
You've assassinated my character many times. However, I'm a pretty happy dude.
Good.
Yeah, not after playing Daylight though, which was
nice segue.
shockingly
That was,
bad.
that was
King,
good.
Stephen.
Shockingly bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Why so? Tell me why it's so bad.
it's a survival horror game.
Unbelievable.
Who's it from?
Unbelievable.
Who's it from?
Zombie Studios.
Zombie Studios. That's Special Forces X and some other games that I can't really remember
Associated other stuff.
right now. Yep.
So, yeah, it's like Pac-Man. It's like a very elaborate version of Pac-Man. You run around a procedurally generated maze, essentially. You have to pick up 5 or 6 items, and then once you've done that, you then have to run to a warp gate. You have to pick up another item, and you have to run to a warp gate. So, it's a horror game.
Yeah,
but
I can't help but feel it is being sold as a horror game, not a Pac-Man.
But that's how it feels.
Really?
And so you wake up, and the first thing you do is you wake up, and it's like a scary, like Vincent Price, like, you know, the dude. If you don't know who that is the dude who does the voiceover in Thriller. It's essentially his voice. So
Is
it's
that
pretty-
where all the money went?
well, no,
Yeah.
because he's been dead for some time now.
No, but it still would have cost money, surely, to
his
his
estate.
voice.
Well, like, I don't think it's actually his voice, but it's someone doing a very
okay,
good
right.
Vincent Price impression. And it wants to scare you so badly that it forgets to have any setup to the game. So I wrote this in the review, the best horror has a normality about it. So in Silent Hill, there's always that moment. You know something's amiss, but in the first hours of the game, you're like Silent Hill 2 is a perfect example. Everything is just that bit not right. Where you're like, there's something strange going on. And The Shining, amazing horror movie because...
The Shining.
Yeah, not
We don't want to get sued, yeah.
when Jack Nicholson turns up, it's the place is so ordinary, but there's still something not quite right about the way it's laid out, the fact that there's no people there, the way that it's shot, essentially.
It's like something like Alien as well. I mean, Alien was obviously that's not going to happen because we don't have that kind of technology, but its route is a bunch of people go to sort out a mission.
Yeah.
That's it. They respond to an SOS. So that's all it is. You could do that. That happens.
And they make
now.
choices that make, in that situation, sense. So, you know, we're going to investigate this SOS, and it turns out that that's actually a big trap. But
that's it. That's what I mean. Like the fact they're in space is not relevant, really.
yeah,
I mean,
they
obviously
make
it is,
real
but-
people
yeah,
choices.
Exactly. Yeah.
In Daylight, you wake up, you've got something on your arm. It's like a rune, essentially, like that glows, and yeah,
Scary.
And,
Prison Break.
Yeah, and your phone is your light and your map. Don't ask why.
So similar to like the Outlast
It's
mechanic.
just, honestly,
in
I watched a bit. It looks just like Outlast. Like,
But it's not
terms
as
of how
good.
you move around. Yeah.
And then occasionally, scary, lank-haired ghost lady will appear and go "Roar" in your face. And the first time I saw her, I ran towards her. She ran away.
What?
And I was like, fuck this game.
What a great twist that would be.
Yeah.
You're the ghost.
Are we the
excellent.
baddies?
Yeah. But you picked up a big yellow orb, didn't you? And that was why she started running away.
Yeah, well...
And then you died and you folded from the mouth outwards.
No, that's scarier, actually. But the game starts and it's like, be scared, be scared. And then you're running around all these environments that are just big horror, like cliches. Like, oh, now there's a scary jail cell. Now there's a scary office. And it's like, by that time, you're not scared. You're settled in. You're like, oh, yeah, this probably would have been scary if I'd been doing normal stuff and then woke up here. But I woke up here. I was born in the game here. And so this is what Bane's life is like.
Sounds like an amazing game.
Yeah, that'd be great. Awesome. And the things that you do aren't very interesting. You have to pick up these 6 remnants, they're called. You pick them up. They explain the backstory of this mental hospital. The game telegraphs its ending. You know already. You are...
Careful now. That's a spoiler.
All that, because...
I'm not saying hoy there, spoiler. You're going to use that, aren't you?
Honestly, it's so shit.
I love the ending of Pac-Man. Turns out you're Pac-Man.
Yeah.
But again, Pac-Man is a scarier game. There's more tension in Pac-Man.
Pac-Man is a scary game. Pac-Man Champion Edition, man, when I was trying to get those top scores, it is terrifying.
Pac-Man, survival horror. You've got to eat to survive, then you die.
Yeah, Luigi's trying to kill you. What? Well, I don't understand that you're...
Spoiler!
Well,
is this something that we should talk about? Because I feel
the game's shit. It looks like garbage.
Yeah,
but
we
spoil it.
Some people.
We said it
imagine.
now. It's too late.
Yeah, but I could have bleeped that out.
Well, just bleep all this out. Just bleep all this out. But I want to know. I want to know. Just bleep all this out.
This is bad podcasting.
Just bleep the important bits out. What do you mean?
So the hospital has been there for hundreds of years, and as you pick up the remnants, they're like newspaper clippings and internal reports and hand scrawled notes from the prisoners or the inmates or the patients or whatever, and they're like, oh, there's something weird going on here, and there was a fire or something, and loads of people keep on getting killed around this town. It's essentially like a very, very poor version of Silent Hill with none of the intrigue and none of the character development. And then at the end, the doctor man, the disembodied Vincent Price dude who's been talking to you, says,
now Steve, that's a spoiler.
God. That's a bigger spoiler, you motherfucker.
Bleep
How
that
dare
out.
you? Yeah, you bleep that out. That's a good movie. You're having a go at Burns. Spoil a bigger one. Unbelievable.
I will definitely bleep that out. It's fine.
You have to bleep a lot of stuff there.
the game has crate puzzles.
Well, like Tomb Raider.
Do you want
Zelda.
That fills
Resident
me
Evil
with
The
an
nameless
unbelievable
dread.
sense of dread. Yeah.
And also,
Maybe that's why they're there. Fuck.
the writing is terrible.
Of course it is.
And when you die, it says, death is the great equalizer.
Nice.
And,
No,
it's
it's
just
not.
like I said the other
it
day,
makes no
so Brett,
sense.
the great equalizer is Teddy Sheringham versus Bayern, May 26, 1999. That's the great
Look,
equalizer.
To be fair to Stephen W. Burns, that makes more sense than Death is the Great. Why has no one learned from Batman games? They're the best death scenes. They get a bit boring, obviously, after a while. But when they just, the person that killed you walks on screen and cuts a line and then finishes you off, like, that's cool.
But it'll be the same scary ghost lady.
Well, that's true.
I think sometimes the worst part of horror games is that extended death animation, because it gives you plenty of time to look at whatever's been chasing you. Mm-hmm. And once you've seen the same animation a few times, you start to lose the kind of...
Well, it's the repetitive nature, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
which
like Burns
you
says,
really
like-
don't want in a game where you're being chased by something or there's some kind of enemy that you can't kill. I'm worried that games like Alien Isolation will do it, because they do some pretty dramatic...
Resident Evil 2.
But you know that,
Yes.
don't you? You
Yeah.
know what that thing is. And so I suppose that's kind of inverted.
Yeah.
But the most
That's a good
important
point.
thing with all these games is when you're not being chased. You've got to
Yeah.
build the atmosphere, because the only reason it's scary when the thing turns up is because it's built the atmosphere to such a degree that you're like, oh shit, and then it's there and you react to it because it's built you up. That's the thing. And this game just sounds like it sounds like a walk in the park. I bet I'd be scared by it.
What- yeah,
Scared by
probably.
It's got a few jump scares, so when you're always holding your phone and you can zoom in to
Modern
see
day
the
life.
map.
Do you check Twitter?
Yeah, that'd be so good.
Scared right now.
Yeah. Honest, don't know what's
Lols.
going on.
Hashtag
How are
fuck
the
this
pigeons
game.
getting on?
Just
Oh,
found
God,
out
you just-
I'm the
you just
woman,
referenced to a
lol.
meme, haven't you?
Yeah.
Death is the great equalizer. Lols.
Yeah. Call of Duty 2, damn good death scenes. You got
Yeah.
the war quotes. Tweet me your war quotes.
Resident Evil
That's
2
no,
had it
your
as
death
well.
quote.
Yeah.
No,
but
your
they
death
cut
scenes.
those, and some of the Resident Evil 2 ones are really, really over the top.
Yeah, they put the blood splatter and it left you to your imagination. But then again, that can, like Brett said, you don't spoil it, so you don't see too much, and then the
But
blood
like,
splatter.
why can't horror games be more adult? They've got these stories like, I can imagine the writers were like, okay, right, we need a scary story. There's a ghost lady, and
Do you think they whispered it to each
she was
other?
born. Yeah, they had the light on. They were in a tent. and
They were marshmallows on fire.
Like Wayne's World, I'm the leprechaun.
What's the setting? We need a scary setting.
The story writer was in the room, and it's just fuck. I don't keep going on about it. But Silent Hill 2 terrifies me because, and again, this is quite the spoiler for Silent Hill 2.
Oh God!
When you get
No, you're allowed to spoil Silent Hill 2.
But in fact, I won't say explicitly.
20
But
years old.
when you get to the end of Silent Hill 2, it's absolutely, depending on the ending you get, absolutely devastating because it's not like, oh, the bad guy's
Lock in a room.
a metaphysical being that follows me and can teleport. It's the bad guy is every decision I've ever made for good reasons. And you're like, oh, life. Silent Hill 2, the best character study in gaming. And most games think, like Outlast thinks it. I'll tell you what game is quite scary. Lone Survivor.
I haven't played it.
That's a kind of like a low budget Silent Hill where you wake up and the whole world is completely fucked and you are
The
Lone Survivor.
yeah, and you have to
Please
make,
tell me it starts like that with the voice. You are the lone survivor.
Come in the cinemas, mate.
when you hit start.
I play this
and then it
game.
starts,
I really
you've got a
would.
massive
I
gun.
really would.
You mentioned that you weren't a fan of the storytelling, and it sounds like it did a lot of that through things that you pick up and
Paxman.
read, right? Is that something that the games need to move away from? Because I was about to say, yes, it's a really like uninteresting way of telling a story, but I mean that's kind of what Gone Home did for a large part of the game. You pick things up, you read them, and
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Gone Home. Segway King.
thank you.
Segway
It's
Prince.
become Paxman now.
Listen, I'm a professional, Simon. Professional. I even
Because
said the
you're
word
not,
professional,
trust
right?
me.
on the
Gone
show.
Home
The
has
least professional man I know.
a bigger scare in it than anything that Daylight does. And it's back to what I was saying about the normality of situations. In Gone Home, you go back to your house, but there's, well, but there's something a bit weird about it. And I'm not, because you can miss things in Gone Home. There's a section where you unlock a secret passageway that connects the up and the downstairs.
It's the well, I guess we don't want to. Let's not spoil too much.
Yeah,
There
and
are
when you
things in there
go
wouldn't
in
expect.
there, there's something that you can click on, and it's got one of the best jump scares in any game I think I've ever played. But it has this the whole game's building to a revelation you think's coming, and your own mind is putting all that together. There's no like falling over of cabinets or chairs. There's no ooh. There's just something is really wrong here.
For a game about someone returning home after being away from their family for a long time, it's really unsettling when you get there. I mean, the house itself is designed to give you that feeling, but that makes those scare moments or those important moments feel completely different. Like if that happened in Daylight, by the sounds of it, when you're expecting that every few minutes.
Well, you can't not because everything. The game is dingy. It's like there's you start in a dank room, you head to a dank room. It's like being up north or something. It's not scary. It just feels like you've got on the wrong train.
Up north out of 10.
Yeah. 4 out of 10. Anyway, many problems with Daylight. Don't buy it.
All right, fair enough. I haven't really played a whole lot this week. I've been playing. Well, I say that I've played a lot of video games, but nothing new. I've played a lot of Dota 2, a lot of Hearthstone. Tell you what, I've got back into Hearthstone now that it's come out on the iPad and there's the kind of hype train has started again. And man, my other powered priest deck has been nerfed significantly. Or everyone else is just better than when I last played it because I haven't played for a while. I've gone back in on my high horse thinking I was the Hearthstone champion.
It's because you're an arrogant motherfucker.
I am a little bit, yeah.
I'm still in the practice mode on that. I'm still trying to get every card in all the characters.
Yeah, to be honest, I've played for maybe like, I don't know, 15, 20 hours and I still haven't got all the cards. I just kind of focus on the ones that I like. I spend most of my time in the arena if I can because you don't need to worry about unlocking cards or buying booster packs or anything. And it's always been my favourite part of it. But yeah, just free-to-play games, man, aren't they rubbish other than the ones that I've spent all week playing?
You must love them then. You must be the free-to-play king. You must be the reason they're still existing.
Well, Dota 2 and Hearthstone do it a little differently than how you generally perceive free-to-play games, but they are fucking good, man. Oh, Dota 2 had some great games last night.
Take your hands out your pants.
Sorry.
Why is the table wonky?
But yeah, that's kind of been... it feels like a quieter week with new releases. I'm actually, speaking of free to play, I am going to go back to Garden Warfare this week. Remember that game that came out? Because fair play to PopCap and EA, they've released a bunch of free updates since it was first released. Never, suggested that anything would be, you'd have to pay for extra content. They are now adding microtransactions into the game. How long ago was it released? It was probably like
March, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't think of many games that add microtransactions this late on outside of kind of MMOs and some of the games that have moved away from different models. So I'm kind of interested to see if that works and see if they're taking the piss with it. It doesn't look that way, but it hasn't gone live yet. As far as I know.
Check it out.
Garden Warfare. It was just one of those. I wonder though, actually, if it was always designed for that, because we kind of suggested that they were probably going to have microtransactions from the start, and maybe the reason I haven't been playing it, even though it's had all these free updates, is because their design decisions were affected by the fact that they knew microtransactions would eventually come. I don't know. Or maybe it's just a fairly average shooter with Plants vs. Zombies. I was expecting some kind of input here, guys. Anything.
I kind of just enjoyed watching you squirm. I could see your face slowly sort of tightening.
Well, it's just,
and squeezing up. And I was like, I wonder how far I'll go with this.
We are called the Video Gamer UK podcast.
The problem is I bought the game and then never played it. That's the problem.
It's just,
I bought it waiting for it to, like you say, add the things that they said they was going to do. And then since then, problem is with that model is you release something saying, we're going to do this, this and this. Problem is by the time those updates come out, so do a bunch of other games that you're more interested in.
Well, I mean, Titanfall came out the week after.
Exactly.
They were both on the Xbox One.
It's just not a game that interests me. No. It's just there's nothing there to get me excited.
I don't know. I'm a fan of Plants vs. Zombies, and I enjoyed seeing all the characters from a tower defense game reimagined, but that took me about an hour to get over that.
Exactly,
and then
you realize you're just playing a bog standard, well, not a bog standard, but an average third-person shooter still. And you do need 3 or 4 friends to make it worthwhile to stay there. Yeah,
it's going to be. I'm interested to see if it will even work out for them, because how many people are still playing it, and they're not adding stuff that wasn't already there with the microtransactions. They're just
it's just stickers, isn't it?
There's already there's like a booster pack kind of system already in place, and they're just adding the ability to purchase those booster packs with money instead of stuff you earn in game. I'm not sure. It feels late. It feels really late.
Maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to save it, trying to get people back in, free updates. Get them in, then charge them for £2 for a plant or something.
I just don't know how many people are still playing it, but we'll see. Cool. Yeah. Plants vs. Zombies.
Tell us, are you still playing Plants Zombie Garden Fair 9?
Fucking hell.
What? I don't know. I'm trying to
sequel.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, do you know what game I have been playing? Another game.
Yep.
I've been playing reading YouTube comments.
Oh, God. That Watch Dogs video, if you didn't get the reference to Steve's name at the beginning, go have a read through.
Those people could be listening to this right now. Hi, YouTube commenters.
No, because
how are you doing?
The people that wrote those comments are the ones that typed Watch Dogs preview or whatever into YouTube.
Yeah, but they may have then found the podcast and they may now hang around. You don't know.
Yeah. Not the ones that wrote those comments.
They may have done.
Didn't hang around
well,
you don't know that.
I think it's
very hard when you're typing with your
I think
elbows.
It's interesting. That anytime you're not always giving video games the kind of big, and you're like, Watch Dogs is going to be the best thing ever. Some of the comments like, I waited 5 years for this. Obviously it's going to be great. Then there's one that says, I did not need to hear that.
Stop. Don't let asshole Steve Burns dictate Watch Dogs. I love actually the best part about all those comments is that all the negative comments refer to you by name, and very few of them will have known you before they found this video.
Oh, they know me now.
It's so personal. It's so personal to them.
Which was the one? There was one that said, stop being such a pussy, fuck your hat.
Nice.
Hat?
I think it's meant to be hate.
Oh.
And then there was one that said,
sex with a hat.
Why is everyone agreeing with Steve? Why are you sucking his dick? I'd rather suck Ubisoft's monster dick than his. And I tell you, they are some of the best reviews I've had.
This is how we're going to settle this, right? We're going to put that fan in the middle of the room. We have your dick on one end, Ubisoft's dick on the other. We're going to cook and see which one it goes to.
I had that once. Remember that person said that to me in a comment? No. Someone in the comments went, why don't you just suck Simon Miller's cock if you like him so much? It's like, all right. I'm also the shittest presenter on YouTube, and someone also would rather I got fired.
Oh, yeah.
But to be honest, all it makes me laugh. The more negative and the more obscene the comment, the more I laugh. So if you are one of those people, all you're doing is entertaining me.
Yeah.
So
there was one comment that did make me laugh. I think it was the Watch Dogs comment where he said, there was some other video, one that you did as well, where he said, I haven't seen this game, I haven't played this game, but I'd give it a 6. What?
So,
All right then.
but it speaks to the attitude that people are so invested in these games. I wrote a kind of a featurey piece on Dark Souls 2 PC that went up on the weekend, and I was talking about how gamers, they're constantly fooled because of expectation, because they'll see a demo at E3 and they've been burned so many times before. Madden and Need for Speed in 04 or 05, where it was that target footage, Killzone in 05, Watch Dogs, maybe The Division, though that has a better chance of looking a lot better. And they're like, well, they're misleading us. And you know what? They are. Like, obviously, when it comes down to it, these things look different, especially Dark Souls. They are misleading you. But that doesn't always come from a place where they go, let's...
it's not intentional misleading.
Yeah.
You know, PR firms want to sell their games, but I gave an example of when I was working for a firm and they wanted their game to look... And the developers were like, it has to look amazing. And it went back. It missed Christmas. They were doing their hardest to make it look as good as it could and run as well as it could. And they just didn't do it. And I used the kind of... I compared it to... Someone said, I can't remember who, I'm really sorry. Someone said that film trailers are, for films that aren't very good, are the films that the producers wish they'd made. And I think the same is absolutely true for video games. When you see that first trailer, when it's in-engine, not a CG one, that's the game they want to sell you. Yeah. And something happens down the line. They don't just go... remove the lighting engine.
I want that for my own game.
But you know, some people in the comments were like, "You're putting it all on the consumer." I'm like, I'm not putting it all on the consumer. And this guy was like, "They're advertising laws for a reason." I'm like, I know, but at the same time, people have to start being a bit more vigilant with the games that they're seeing. It's a business; they have to present it in the best light they can. And I just think there's people going, "Oh, now it doesn't look very good." Of course, it doesn't look as good as that. Because there were no platforms named or whatever in certain instances, and you know that's not going to be the case. But that and the comments on YouTube and the whole thing to Watch Dogs, people are so invested in that game because of what it represents to them, and I just don't think it's going to actually turn out to be that.
Well, a lot of people think it's the next gen game, isn't it? In inverted commas, they think it's the game that finally justifies their £400 purchase of a console. And you know, it could be. You may play it, you may think it's the greatest thing ever, but at the same time, you may play it and go, should have come out 6 months ago. You know, the only way to do it is to play it yourself. And I wouldn't overly worry too much about one person's opinion to the point you call them a motherfucker.
Smug British asshole, Stephen W. Burns.
I think previews can be misleading as well, because often the person writing or doing a video with a preview often has to defend things by saying, well, this could, you know, we only got to see this bit of the game.
I don't agree with that. I think that's because people are stupid. You don't have to do that. That's just some weird thing that people have got into.
Oh no, I think it can. It's sometimes I think you can trust previews too much. They are in very controlled situations.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying the people are stupid are the people that are writing those previews, not the people reading them. The people writing them that feel like they have to balance it out. No, you don't. Just say what you think. It's another problem with video games, much like the scoring system where 7 is now 5, or other way around. Is that people feel like, oh, it's a preview, therefore I have to be balanced.
Exactly.
In
You're not allowed an opinion with a preview.
Yeah, of course you can. If you think a game is going to be bollocks, I think this game is going to be bollocks. But people get scared because they think, oh, well, what if I'm wrong? That's okay. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. If you see a game at preview, if someone presents a game to you and you go away thinking that is going to be an absolute pile of crap, and you write down, man, that game does not look good, and it comes out and they proved you wrong, put your hands up and go, hey, man, I played 20 minutes of a game, it didn't feel very good, but out of context, it didn't work. In context, fantastic, well done. But, you know, it's this thing within video games where, again, game's not very good, I'll give it a 7. What are you talking about? Give it a 5. You know, the same thing is like, well, because it's a preview and it's not out yet, it comes back to this argument when people go, well, they don't do it with movies. I don't give a shit what they do with movies. Why would I care about that? But it's video games.
But I think you're correct, absolutely. But more and more, you'll see 10 minutes of footage before another film. You'll see, and you'll see like a vertical slice, essentially. So before, I can't remember which movie it was before, but maybe it was before Star Wars. But you could see 15 minutes of Batman Begins. You can Comic-Con will show footage of The Dark Knight Rises. You'll see footage and it'll be cammed, and instantly someone will go, yeah.
Well, that's why the Bane voice got changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it was.
Footage.
When you review the footage, it is incomprehensible. I prefer it because now in the mix, it sounds like he's not
He's
on
on
the
top of
screen.
it,
Yeah, he's not on
He's
the
like
screen.
standing next to you.
Yeah.
Rather than because in the original
yeah.
mix, he's just like, and you're like, fuck, that guy's fucked up. No wonder they changed it.
Yeah,
Understand
he's in
what
the
he was
booth.
saying.
He's not in the room.
That's what I don't. That's another thing about video games I don't like. The people that they're too. They feel like they have to be balanced.
And
I don't see why. Like, who are you being balanced for?
Especially when you,
Well, it would be
especially go to a
safer.
preview event and the game's out in 2 weeks and they think, oh, well, it could all change before.
Watch Dogs
then. It
was out in just under a month, I think,
Yeah.
or just over a month when I was there.
I think it's
Nothing's going to. Nothing is going to change.
No, that
Not a
is the
single
game.
fucking bean.
No.
But I'm not saying there's nothing. I get what you mean. There's nothing wrong with saying, say, 6 months out, or whatever. We're saying, but maybe they'll do this. But the point is, a lot of people throw that in there because they feel like, oh, well, it's a preview, so I have to.
And it's a safe thing to say. And
That's the thing. But you shouldn't like the best thing I ever did. It was come out and say I thought The Last of Us was going to be because that out of context was terrible. I stand by it. It made no sense. It was a weird splice of gameplay where it doesn't. You don't know what's going on with the story. You don't do much combat with zombies. There's an awful bit which is still bad when you're hung upside down shooting things. There's still a bad moment of that game. But when you get to that part after everything you've done, you understand, right? It's where they've changed the pace up. So as a demo, or whatever you want to call it, it's bollocks. It's rubbish. It just is. But the game itself was tremendous.
I think a lot of people, like one of my favourite games of recent times was XCOM Enemy Unknown. And I think the demo and the previews they showed for that were from the very early parts of the game where it held your hand and it told you, what you should be doing. It's a tutorial. People haven't played XCOM for a long time. That, out of context, makes the game look entirely different to all the reasons I fucking adore it. Like that.
It's just people... I'm talking about the writing angle, just to clarify. I'm not talking about people that are writing these things need to either... If you feel like you have to be balanced, then be balanced. But people, in general, need to be a lot more... vitriolic. I said it last week as a joke, but it's serious with the way they approach these things. Because just be honest with what you've seen. Deliver your opinion to the consumer. And they will call you a motherfucker if they don't agree. We'll accept that. But that's their decision. That's what they want to do. Fair enough. That's what they should do. But if that's what you think, you should deliver your opinion. Because otherwise you get 10 to 15 previews. Everyone going... And you're like, what's the point of any of this?
What's the point of the previews? Because people will stop trusting them if they.
Exactly, and you may as just have one website. I think we wrote this before. You may as well just have one website that we all go to, and we pick one guy or girl to make the decision, and we all go read their stuff. Otherwise, there's literally no point, and that's why. We especially are quite picky with what we preview. It's not like Watch Dogs we'll obviously go and see because it's a big deal. But we'll kind of pick and choose because sometimes you think, well, there's nothing we can get out of this because, we can't be honest.
Yeah, or are we the right people to talk about it? I think that's, whether or not you agree with Burns, if you have an idea of what Steve likes in video games and from his, past games that he's reviewed and whatever, you can read or watch that preview with that in mind. And
I think people take it for cynicism as well, don't they? Where they're like, oh, you just hate games. It's like, well, I don't hate games. I was really looking forward to Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
I just hate the whole thing where it's like, well, we have to just say that it'll probably turn out all right in the end because reviews for that game and a lot of games will drop day and date when it's come out, when you've put your pre-order, when you've paid it off, when you've paid the money, and then what fucking good is it to anyone to then review it and go, actually, you know what? All the things I actually thought about it 2 months ago, I'm now going to say those in a review and put a score on the end of it.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. Sorry, it's just when you read certain previews, like you're saying, those ones that don't say anything, you just picture two people on a seesaw not moving.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're just saying, oh, well, this bit was bad, but it could change my thing. Well, then there's no point. You've not previewed anything. You haven't played. You played the game, not thinking about anything that you're playing.
Yeah, and also one person saying, this may not be as good as I thought it was going to be, doesn't mean that your enjoyment will be affected by it. You may play it and think it's the greatest thing you've ever done. I mean, that's why there's trailers and marketing for it as well, so you can try and buy into that side. But you also can then look at an opinion and go, and that's why there should be multiple websites. If you read Burns' thing and he goes, I don't like it, you think, I'm not 100% sure if I agree with that, then you go and read another websites and see what they say. If it sounds like they're saying things that make more sense to how you want to play a game, then you can make your mind up. But all this, you should balance your previews more. Never, ever going to, unless it feels like it needs to be, but unless you think you genuinely play something and go, but there's this, and if they focus on this and push this. But, why preview anything if you're not just going to say what you think? And I think we always do that. which is pretty good.
I hope that didn't come across as too self-absorbed or anything. But as funny as it was to go and read the comments of all these people
But
that
doing
don't
a
know
podcast
Steve,
about us,
Hey, I
of
know.
course, this is all self-absorbed.
But it is also, as well as it being hilarious, it's a little bit depressing to see people so fiercely defend a game they don't know much about yet.
I get that. That's just passion, isn't it? It's just, I mean, it's
Yeah,
crazy
but
passion.
it's like personal,
That's because they put
insults
£50
because
they put £50. I know it's not right. I'm not saying it's right, but they put £50 down on a game. They don't want to think that £50 has been wasted. But the ridiculous thing is, even with Burns' criticisms, let's say they're all 100% true, you probably still sit down with that game and have quite a good time with it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He didn't say it was terrible.
That's what we came out of the preview saying, pretty much. It wasn't, there were faults that you had with it, but it's going to be fun.
But a flawed game can still be a good game.
Yeah,
Well,
That's
Kane
the-
Lynch too.
Yeah.
Kane Lynch too. Now,
Thing is-
and keep those comments coming, good or bad, because usually I have to pay people quite a lot of money to shout at me and call me mean things.
I honestly would say, please, if you want, I'd up the bad comments because I find them utterly delightful to read. There are so many. Sometimes they're so funny. So there was one when I did a video with you, Chris. It was just like, oh yeah, Chris, great game,
Thanks
blah
very
blah
much.
blah, and they just went, Miller, you're an asshole. It's amazing. It's amazing. Keep him up.
But hold on, before we go any further, I need a wee. Sorry.
Right.
I've drunk too much water.
Well, we'll use
Well,
that as the segue to Brett talking about Child of Light.
All
Yes.
right. Well, I was just going to say one more thing about the.
All right, Brett, you do
sorry.
that. You do that.
Sorry.
Oh, you know what? Just leave the room. Let Brett do
It's
this.
just the angry thing as well. It's not really. I don't think it's more of a personal attack on the person in the video. It's more a sense of because people attach themselves so personally to the game that they're about to buy. It's video games are in a weird place where we're in the year 2014, but we still have an 80s and 90s mentality to the games we buy.
Yeah, I agree.
Where you see a game, like Burns was saying, that article that he wrote over the weekend was really, really good in the sense of we see a game and that moment we've decided we're going to buy it. No matter what comes out between then
Yep.
and 8, 12, 15 months between it coming out, we've decided that day we're going to buy it. And that game doesn't just become a game we want to enjoy, it becomes a game that is part of the person.
And some asshole is trying to lessen
Exactly.
that game before it's even been released.
Yeah.
It's the exact. It's an
What a
extension.
piece of shit.
Exactly, it's an extension of the console war in the sense of you say something bad about that, you're saying something bad about me. Therefore, I have to defend the
And-
game and my own pride.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah.
more than that as well. It's you're saying that I shouldn't have bought this next gen console
Exactly.
because this is the game that I was going to get
And-
to prove that.
And like Miller's saying, is that no matter what piece of shit you buy, you will force yourself to have fun in it. Like when you was a kid and there was no websites, there was no internet, and
What?
yes, I lived in a time
What?
before the internet sort of was mainstream. But you
You had to backtrack a little
I
bit
can't
there.
believe when the internet went mainstream.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But like-
Sold out, man.
But like you forced yourself to have fun in games that were total bollocks. I played Rise of the Robots for 100 hours when I was a kid because it was the only thing I had to play.
Yeah, no, it's true. That is very, very true.
You force yourself to have fun in the game that you buy.
Also, a game like Watch Dogs as well, AAA, big budget. It will be fun. You'll
It will
enjoy
be.
it.
Exactly.
The whole point is it just may not be the game you think it was
Yeah.
going to be, but you will have. That will be a good game,
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
had the money piled into it. So that even if it does hold your hand a little bit and it's not as freeform as you think, it'll still be fun because the production will be. Excellent.
We know it's going to have a section in it where you control a big mechanical spider, and that I didn't really want that to be in a game like Watch Dogs, but I'm going to fucking enjoy that because it looks fun.
Watch Dogs will be fine. You don't need to worry about the Watch Dogs.
Right? Okay.
Child of Light, though, maybe you need to
Child-
worry about
yeah,
that. So let's
Child
cut
of
over
Light.
to Brett Phipps in the field.
Nice.
I've stood outside Child Light.
Go on. I tell you what is Child of Light? There we go. We'll start there.
Yeah, it's one of those. When I did the video with Jim, I said it was really nice because it fits that void where between sort of the console cycle that we had previously with the Xbox and 360 and PS3, those mid-tier developers sort of fell out. The Acclaims, the THQs, they all sort of died, and we were stuck
Acclaim.
between indies and Call of Duty, the big AAAs. But this sort of fits that nice mid-tier £15 game. It feels like an indie game, but with a shitload of money behind it.
Yeah.
It's sort of in between the two, and it's really nice because I've always loved playing RPGs, but now that I've got a job and I'm an adult now, I don't have time to spend hundreds of hours playing these games because there's too many games out now, and you can't spend your
Sort
time.
your life out, Brett.
Yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
Christ.
Ignore him, Brett. You know what
Don't
we're
have
talking
time
But
for
this RPG,
RPGs.
it hasn't got the complexity and the depth of a fucking, I don't know, Final Fantasy, well, old school Final Fantasy, and like Ni no Kuni had last year. But it's really nice, and the combat system in it is just fantastic. It's really, really good. And, it's great for the 15, 20 hours that you'll be playing with it, and It looks so nice, and the music that accompanies it as well it sets such a nice pace for the game. And I know the reviews are mixed, but it was just one of those games that really spoke to me and just fit with my lifestyle at the minute, in that you can play it for whatever amount of time you have and just get through it, and you'll never feel like, oh, I need to get... You'll never feel like with when you played any other RPG, you're like, I'll be stuck on this boss for 20 hours. You won't have that. You'll be able to just get through it at whatever pace you have, whatever time you can dedicate to it, and it will just be one of those games you get through.
Brett's got a hectic lifestyle. He's got a job. He's an adult. He's got a quiff. Sometimes he needs to go home and
you can't talk to anyone about having a quiff
with a lovely looking game.
Hey Chris, how's your house keys? How are they doing?
What?
In the house, out of the house, in your possession, lost in the abyss?
I got him. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't make this personal.
But then don't come at Brett's quiff when you've got a quiff.
Brett's got a lovely quiff, and yeah, Child of Light looks gorgeous. I haven't played it, but the video that you did was just it's a treat to watch, just because of how nice the game looks. I mean, you guys ruined it with talking all over it, and
even more of a treat if my quiff was in there.
Yeah. Oh, you know what,
Braz, why are you being so an asshole?
What?
Oh yeah, it's because you're an arsehole. I forgot.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with. I like Brett's quiff.
You just said you ruined it by talking all over the video.
I was being.
Facetious is the word you're looking for.
No, but you say that all the time. Yeah. So what are the? You said that there's been some mixed reviews with Child of Light. What seems to be people's complaints with it?
I think the fact that it is a simple game and there isn't much of a challenge there.
Is that in the combat then?
Yeah, I think. But the combat system, I really enjoy it. I think that's something that could carry. You could take that combat system and put it into a more complex game, because it's all based on timing and rhythm and understanding what tools you have at your disposal, because there's a timing system. You have a waiting time before you can make a move, and there's also a bar where you get to cast. But if you hit an enemy when they're in that smaller bar, it knocks them back in the timing sequence. A
little bit like Grenadier, right?
Yeah, and it's that sense of you can get through some fights and never be hit, but equally you can get through a fight and wait ages before you can have a chance to attack, and you need to know what moves you can do to try and slow them down in their progression, get ahead of them, and know what you can do. And you can also it gets really complex, but you're never overwhelmed by it. You never have a sense of, oh my god, I can do these 10 different things, but I don't know which one to do, because it really eases you into it, and you understand everything that you can do, because it will say, oh no, now you can do this, and now you have this move, now you have this character, and it works really, really well. And I just really enjoyed it, because again, it was that sense of it's always fulfilling, and you just love everything that you do in it.
There is a difficulty setting as well, right? So if normal is, it feels too easy, right? How does the difficulty alter it? Is it just like kind of more HP? And
I guess so, but again, I just enjoyed it on normal, because again, games, they say, do you want to play it on normal? And the clue's in the title, normal. And I that's what I play every game on.
I said, I'm not insane. A lot of people think, no, I'm not. I'm a normal man. So I play it on normal.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love that. That's the setting.
Yeah, that's often the way I do it, unless it's XCOM, then it's classic every time.
That's why
I
don't like games with even numbers of difficulty settings, because that confuses me.
What do you mean?
Like easy, normal, hard, you know that is exactly what it's supposed to be. The first one's the easy one. The middle one's the one that the game was designed to be played on. The hard one is for people who want a bigger challenge. Whereas the 4 difficulties, the first one's the easiest one, the end one's the hardest one. What are the 2 in the middle? Which one's the quote-unquote normal one?
Yeah, I think that's quite a good point, actually. Usually I think that means they're adding very hard on the end, and it just means people that want to hurt
Gears
themselves.
has got that, right?
Yeah, Doom and Duke Nukem are terrible for that as well.
Gears were insane.
Yeah.
I remember that. It's pretty hard.
It sounds it, Simon Miller.
It was. Gears of War 3 on Insane's pretty hard, my friend. Don't you worry about those. I've got plenty of stories. Lost plenty of friends.
Old man Miller at his times in Gears
sometimes
of War.
I just look out the window, rain pattering onto the glass, and I remember the good old days before my fellow cogs died.
Oh, man.
But they're gone now. They're
Shit.
never coming back.
You have to bleep that out as well for spoilers.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Loads of cogs died.
Just because Dom's wife died, you have to keep bringing it up every single
She's not a
podcast.
cog, so I wasn't referring to her.
Oh,
So you just spoiled it, Brad. Look what you did.
I know.
This is a spoilerific podcast.
Yeah, cool. So Child of Light looks lovely, plays nicely.
Really, really
Suits
good.
a busy lifestyle.
9 out of 10.
For the
Chris
working
Bradford.
man.
Yeah, for the work.
Swig of water for the working man. Let's promote another podcast.
No, we're not.
Let's promote Steve Austin's amazing podcast. He may listen to this. You don't know. He definitely doesn't listen to this.
Yeah,
Steve Austin's podcast is better than ours. That's embarrassing for us all.
Well, that's another thing.
Not
that's just been
embarrassing,
bleached
he's
out.
amazing.
He's a better man than all of
It's
us.
true. It's such a good podcast. Everyone should. That's what I've been playing this week. I've been playing the Steve Austin podcast. It's so good. The man is so entertaining. I don't even know where to begin.
Why? What's his thing?
He can just talk forever, and he's funny, and his humour is so surreal. Oh, it's wonderful. He's a wonderful man. His podcast is wonderful. I support Steve Austin all he does, and he's got sponsors. Even the way he advertises sponsors is funny. Guy's amazing. There you go. I've been playing the Steve Austin podcast this week.
All right, there we are. Good. I mean, that obviously won't make it into the final edit of the podcast.
It will do.
Can't be.
You take it out. Take it out and see what happens. You like
It'll
your
be
head?
released as a separate podcast.
Yeah, do you enjoy your head on your neck? Is that something you've got used to
Yeah.
over the last year?
Very
Well,
good.
then I'd probably keep it in.
You could say I'm quite attached to it.
Yeah,
Lol.
well,
Anyone
you-
give me a high five for that?
No, you're not getting it.
Yes.
Can't reach.
But I would say
But I
if that is
wouldn't
the
anyway.
case, I definitely wouldn't take that bit out of the podcast. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, I've still been playing Hitman Go. Hitman Go is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We don't talk about it. We talked about it last week. Hitman Go really good.
All right.
I've been playing the game of life,
There
as
we are.
always.
That's good. I haven't really got anything else to add to video game talk.
Ask us some questions.
Should we move on to some questions? Sugar lumps. I've forgotten to tweet Miller Instinct. Oh, this is very, very unprofessional indeed. I'm going to give you a question. You guys mull it over for a bit, and I'm going to...
You could have just done that without informing everyone what we were going to do. But you're just not a very good host, Chris. So, you know.
Actually, I mean...
Paxman would never do that.
Major Nelson found some video games in a desert or something. Do you want to
What?
talk
He
about
didn't
that?
find them. They've
He
always
did.
What are you
been. He
talking
knew
about?
they were there.
What are you talking about?
Major Nelson, he went on an archaeology trip and
The
found some video
ET
games.
buried in the desert, and they
He
went
didn't
and dug
really,
them up.
did
They
he?
didn't find. They found. They've always known they were there to find them. Means that
Who put them there?
Major
Oh,
Nelson
the
did.
developers did.
It's all an inside job.
Buried them there.
Just ask a question. That's a boring story. We
But
just
people are
promoted
quite
Major
happy about
Nelson.
it.
They just didn't sell them, and then they said, "Fuck
like-
it, let's
it's
just
like-
bury them in the Nevada desert. It's dog shit. Let's get rid of it."
People have been talking about it as like it's an urban myth for a long time, but
It's going to be the shortest documentary ever. Are they buried there? Let's go
Yeah,
have a
we
look.
found them, yeah.
You got a shovel? No.
Let's
Right, we'll
not,
have to go
let's
back
not
to the
promote
shop.
that shill, Major Nathan. Can I say that? Can I call him a shill?
Can do.
Alright.
I've got other words.
We're going to move on to questions now.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
So we're going to
He's
start
always
off
got to be in control, doesn't he?
with this one.
Like a dictator.
Listen, host of the podcast. Simon.
You're not the host of the
I am.
podcast. You're not.
I am the one with the soundboard. Wait,
Yeah, you're soundboard monkey,
If I
not
kept
host.
if I kept an eye on which microphone you are right now, I could mute you. But there's a
As I
chance
said,
I'd do it to myself.
As I said, soundboard monkey. Definitely not the host.
Okay. Liam Byron asks, what songs do you really want to use for musicals but are waiting for the right game? Now, mull that over.
None, really.
Yeah, there is one. Chop Suey, right? Chop Suey's got...
Oh, I thought you said what games do you want, not what
No,
songs.
songs.
Oh, songs, yeah. Chop Suey by Tisman and Down we want to do, just
That
to
would
be so ridiculous.
No, that
We
is
will
one
do
that
that
is
eventually. I don't know really what else. It depends what suits the song. Whatever serves the song will do. If you've got any songs you'd like us to do, you could tweet us and we could write them down on a big piece of paper and see if we agree. We could do that. We could
it on
not
the
do
fridge.
that. Yeah, put it on the fridge. I don't know really. Let's say reviewsicals are going to become for big games only, just because that's what we've decided to do.
I think on a weekly
Or games
basis,
where it's just games where it suits, because it's really hard to write lyrics for songs all the time.
and there's a chance that they'll end up feeling stale if we
Well, they will
overdo
do.
it.
So we're gonna sort of every now and then you'll get a reviewsical, but it'll make it more an event, make it more exciting, like WrestleMania.
Entering
just
the
like
twilight.
WrestleMania.
Whoa,
All right, cool.
WrestleMania.
Notley Evans, also known as Dudders42, says, if Simon is a Nintendo fanboy,
I've already answered this
why does he... Have you really?
on Twitter. Yeah, I answered him.
Well, this is for the podcast as a whole. Why does he only like Zelda and Mario? Open brackets and hate Smash Bros.
Because I'm not a
Close
Nintendo
brackets.
fanboy. I just like Nintendo games. Again, it's one of these weird things where he's a Nintendo fanboy. He must like everything. No,
It's probably our
I
fault.
like-
We've
But
called you that,
that's
haven't
that's
we?
what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said in my reply. It's because everybody else has thrown that name at me. I just like what I like. I think Mario's fantastic. I think Zelda's fantastic. I think Kirby is dog. And I think Smash Brothers is dog. Like it's not because they are by Nintendo or not by Nintendo. That's just the way my gut responds to them. I'd love to love them, but I can't because they've hurt me in the past. What other Nintendo? What's another big Nintendo staple?
F-Zero, Star Fox.
F-Zero I love. Star Fox is okay. I liked Star Fox Adventures, though. I'm the only person in the world. I thought Star Fox Adventures was a wonderful game. Honestly, genuinely fantastic, brilliant, top game. I think it's absolutely excellent. I really do.
Metroid?
Metroid's okay. Metroid Prime's good.
Okay, we got some questions about E3. So to tie it in, what Nintendo titles are we going to hear at E3? What's going to be rumored? Any ideas?
Yes, but I can't say.
Oh man.
Well, I
What
can't.
tease? Okay, give me some kind of obscure hint that couldn't possibly be.
It's Nintendo related.
Yeah, it's got
It'll be a
Nintendo characters in it.
Ooh, characters, plural. Okay.
Well, I would just say, what big game haven't you seen on their home console?
Okay.
I also would say, how's their console doing? That's all I'd say.
Crikey. Some strong words from Sam.
Move on immediately.
Okay. Speaking of E3, do you know? As Brett Claxton asked, do you know yet which of you will be going and
All of
covering
us.
E3?
We're all going. We're all apart from Tom, Brett, and James, who are going to cover the
home
fort
front.
from this end, because we do need someone covering this end. Everyone's going. So look forward to all the E3 coverage you can handle. I'm not going to lie, a lot of it's not going to be very serious. But,
damn it.
well, it's not. We've decided E3
Everyone's
is a
gonna
joke,
be
so therefore we're going to
sleep
treat it as such. So if you want serious coverage, I wouldn't visit us. That's
You
all.
probably should learn that a while ago.
Visit the website for serious stuff, but don't go to our YouTube for serious stuff, because I don't think you're going to get much. But we may do, who knows? Maybe we'll get a really serious interview. That's a lie. Even if we get an interview with an executive, we're going to do something to ensure we never get another executive interview again. So...
All right, cool.
If any PRs are listening, that's obviously not true. Please give us your executive interviews.
I'm looking forward to it. We've got one from, let's see.
Brilliant.
Crispy Nips asks,
There's the right response.
did any of the VG team play any games competitively? If so, which ones and how did you fare?
I did.
Yeah.
I used to play League of Legends competitively.
Did you?
Yeah, I was really good.
That does surprise me.
I know. I was
immensely.
really good. My handle was wall aside.
What was your
people would fear me when I would come
what was
into
your
lobbies.
go-to character usually?
My go-to character was John.
Just so you know, his table went wonky again. Then,
Yeah, it did,
John. I'm not familiar with League.
We-
Is he
we-
a carry or a support?
He's the second one. He's a
Support.
character you had to unlock. You had to get well into the game to unlock him. But I was so into the game that I unlocked him. John, the support dude.
I mean, what was your general tactic out on the
Attack.
Which is your
Russian
favourite map,
attack.
actually?
Grass 2.
Good.
That was my favourite. Yeah, it's a good map. Right, lots of grass. Lots of green.
Dust is my favourite. I've never played competitive video games, which may surprise some of you who've seen me smash every person in this office at every game they loved when they were children, and also many other video game journalists. But I just why it's not fair. It is unfair. I did get to around about 450 to 500 in the world at Resident Evil 5 Mercenaries, but that was in the early days, and then suddenly everyone worked out the Wesker stun punch routine, and that was that.
I was once number 8 on Project Gotham Racing 3.
I can already tell this was before the game was actually released.
No, I wasn't.
Really?
I wasn't in. I went when Project Gotham 3 came. I was working at Sony. So.
All right, fair enough.
And you were playing that game.
Yeah,
Sony.
I got to. Yeah,
That's is that
I got
why
to number. It's not
why
very
you don't work at
impressive.
Sony
Don't get me
anymore?
wrong. I got to number 8 on the half track of the Nürburgring in a Lamborghini Gallardo, I believe it was. I had the 8th best time in the world. Yeah.
Crikey.
The best thing also is I did it for weeks on end, like such a loser. But I did it for weeks on end. Like I learned every, braking and starting and the racing line. I put so much time to it. I got to 8th. I was like, fuck, I'm 8th in the world. I checked the next day. I got down to about 700th. And I was like, you know what? I ain't doing this shit no more. I'm done.
I retired from competitive
I retired from
VGR.
video game boxing.
I used to be top 100 in the world on DJ Hero on the high score things, but that was about it. Just
pretty
on
good.
that and DJ Hero 2 on all the songs.
Shit, I wish I had some stat to pull out.
Well, none of us are professionals, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, god damn it. I used to play a hell of a lot of Arena in World of Warcraft, but I'm not sure you can really call that competitive.
Me and Burns were talking about this earlier. I think Brett's done it as well. I got all 1,000 Gs on Road to World Cup 96. And that's flipping hard because you've got to do the 500 Gs. Huh?
2006.
What did I say?
96.
2006. Because the last one, you have to complete all the scenarios. And the last scenario is Brazil versus Sweden. You're Sweden. You're 4-2 down. And you've got to win the game. You can take it to extra time. But you've got 2 minutes. That's 2 in-game minutes. It's really, really hard. But I did it. Why I did it, I don't know. It's
2 fake minutes.
It's one of the biggest regrets of my entire life, to be honest. Wasn't worth it. Was not worth
How many
it.
hours did it take?
Oh my gosh. Like I did it every night I got home from work. Amazingly, it was around the same time I was playing PHL 3. Yeah, it was not worth it. Not worth those G's. Not worth those G's.
My favourite achievement is the Nothing Special achievement on Left 4 Dead. You have to complete a whole campaign without taking special infected damage.
Fucking hell. Did you do it?
Yeah.
Fair play.
Well, there was a guy on Game FAQs who would just he would run survivors through it. So you put it on easy, but it's still quite difficult because if anyone gets hit, that's that, right?
Yeah.
I did it on Blood Harvest.
He guided you through.
Yeah, he was like, "Look, I'm going to be on at these times. Just give me your gamer tags, and I'll sort it out for you boys."
Man.
And in the pre-game lobby, he'd just be like, "Follow me.
Can you get in contact
Don't
with
ever
him again?
stop running."
I kind of want to. I want to experience this.
But-
Is he still?
I don't think he's still doing it, I imagine.
He retired.
If he's listening to this, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Cool.
Salute.
Inquisition, Mordor, Skylanders, Alien, Drive Club, and Batman all out within a week of each other, says Mitchell Bennett. Which succeed, which get buried.
They won't all come out in that.
No, there's some will move. I think Dragon Age will move. And go through one by one, sorry, because there's a lot of games there.
Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor.
It's coming out October.
7th.
They're all.
That
they're
will
all,
move,
Yeah.
I'd say. That will
That
go
will-
out earlier, maybe?
I think it might come out in November. Oh, no,
Or
November's
maybe
all-
sort of early next year instead. Yeah, I imagine that will probably shift.
Skylanders is a week before the rest of
That will
them.
That'll
come out.
do all right.
Skylanders will come out because
Yeah.
it doesn't... It
Skylanders is
exists in its own
immovable.
world. Yeah,
it's
that'll
a
be
different
fine.
market.
Alien Isolation.
I think that'll be fine as well because I think, as Colonial Marine shows, the brand still sells and it's a survival horror game.
I think the two there that are most at odds are Inquisition and Shadow of Mordor, right? They're both...
What's Inquisition?
Dragon Age.
Oh, Dragon Age.
Yeah, yeah.
Dragon Age will move. I mean, Dragon Age, I don't think it'll be ready for this year. I think Dragon Age will move. I think Shadows of Mordor will move. And Batman, I think, has already been rumoured to move too. So that will probably go, which leaves us with what? 3 games?
And Drive Club. So, yeah, 3...
And Drive Club's already moved a ton, so I reckon.
Yeah,
they're
Drive Club won't
solid.
move. Also, Drive Club's a racing game. So, I know everyone's only got a certain amount of money to spend. But if you're a racing game fan, you're going to buy Drive Club before anything else. So
Okay.
I'd say a lot will move.
Hypothetically, they all come out within the same week. Which emerges victorious?
Skylanders.
Batman.
Skylanders and Batman. Yeah.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
No, that's what will die.
Heathens.
Skylanders.
No, I love
will sell-
Dragon Age. Out of all those games, that's the one that died because Alien's got brand power. Skylanders exists with its own bubble. Batman is Batman. And Dragon Age had a terrible sequel.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. It was quite good. But that is the
Overall-
the paint it has been, the brush it has been tarred with. So
Skylanders will sell more over its life cycle than all of those combined.
yeah, I think it's probably yeah. I probably agree with that.
That's bullshit. They're selling some kind of...
Bullshit. Have you seen how much money they're selling?
Skylanders is massive.
with it.
Skylanders
I don't
is
know what that
massive.
means, but I know that people are
Skylanders
angry.
will sell more than all of those.
If someone said attach yourself to one of those games in terms of being financially successful, Skylanders, definitely.
Where's your heart, Sam?
Batman didn't look anywhere near ready when I saw it. It was
I
a
don't think
PC
Batman will
build,
make this year.
and it was the frame rate was.
They
in
have
the
to really
10s.
because they want to do every year, don't they?
yeah, but
Who knows?
it'll be. That must be. Can't be all Rocksteady, surely.
No, they got
No.
was it Montreal? thingy?
Yeah, that's right.
They want to do another Batman game with them next year, so maybe it will come out this year. Be tough, but we'll see.
Okay, and the final question before we move on to Miller Instinct is from Tickum. Do you think a video game has to offer a challenge? Not necessarily
No.
to the level of Dark Souls, but just in general
No,
terms.
it's one of my biggest pet peeves in video games. Is that there is and if you're part of this community, it's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong. I would never do that. It's fair enough you think this. But I really would like to think we've got to the point now where experience and story can be just as vital and important
but
as
still-
challenge. I don't want to play games with a challenge anymore. There's not one game out there
has
that's...
to be some,
No,
even if it's
no.
borderline. Otherwise, you're a passenger.
No.
Even
No, I
Gone
don't
Home has
agree.
a challenge.
I don't agree.
Gone Home
Not
has a
all-
challenge.
There's so many games that come out over the course of the year. Not every single one of them has to offer a challenge.
I don't want a challenge.
There's a market for it.
Yeah.
That's why Dark Souls exists. That's
Exactly.
why Mega Man
No,
exists.
we're not
but
talk-
not every game has to offer a challenge.
We're not
No.
talking that level of challenge. Just
No, I mean any
No,
challenge.
there are some games that I would rather... The Last of Us, I would rather had no challenge.
Then
I would
why not produce it as a movie?
Because I got a controller in my hand and I can move stuff.
You dictate- you still dictate the outcome.
And I still kill zombies and
That's the
stuff. Oh,
challenge.
don't call them zombies.
That
the
is
internet
the
goes
challenge.
mental.
Yeah.
Even that.
Yeah, but
small amount.
I'd just be rather killing zombies with no challenge whatsoever. They're easy. They just die.
But
you wouldn't
Walking
even-
Dead has no challenge, and
The
you're
worst-
still
It
dictating
is.
the outcome.
It has a challenge. The challenge is an emotional thing. You have to. The challenge is going.
No, that's not
That's
what
not
he
a
means.
challenge.
That's not what
No,
he's referring
means,
to.
He means overcoming an obstacle.
Yeah, that's what he
Stop,
means.
stop speaking on behalf of Ty.
Well, no, otherwise he wouldn't have referenced Dark Souls. He's saying, does it need to have that thing? The whole point is
not necessarily to level of Dark Souls.
to the level
to
of
the level of Dark Souls. So
Yeah.
he's saying, do you think some games should... I don't. What my point is that the thing I hated most about The Last of Us is when I fucking kept dying by clickers. And it wasn't fun. I didn't want to redo these bits. I just wanted to get through them. And it got to the point where no, now I've got to put my gaming hat on and just get through this section where I just want to get through it and get to the next bit of the story. If I could have literally walked up the clicker and flicked him in the head, that's what I would have done, or kicked him in the balls or something. Like that's what I don't
Or
need.
hide again.
But surely,
Yeah.
you, like,
No, I really honestly,
you want some tension from it. You want to feel like you're under threat.
No, the tension can come from the
Otherwise-
atmosphere. The tension can come from the atmosphere
Yeah.
and just being scared of being seen. That's fine. When I play Oblivion, and people always have a go at me for this, come at me, bro. Oblivion, Fallout 3, Skyrim, I put it on easy. Put it on very easy straight away because I just want to enjoy the world. I just want to do the quests. I want to see the story goes, and I want people to die at my hand really quickly. And there are some games I just do not want to be challenged.
And
at all.
I'm someone who loves that challenge. I'm currently doing the guides for Dark Souls. It's my favourite type of game. That and Mega Man, all those games are my favourite. But there are certain times, like Miller says, where you just want to get through the game. That's why I love Child Light. You just want to get through it. You
wanna
don't
enjoy
want to be
it.
angry all the time because that's what these games do. They make you angry.
Yep.
There are times when you just want to sit down and enjoy a game because those games you hate.
I agree with you. I think we just interpreted the question differently here.
You play it for 3 hours, you hate it for 2.5. That's the problem with those games. You play them for 3 hours, you are so angry for 2.5, and then that last 30 minutes before you turn the game off, you're relieved.
If he means it like you meant it, and the only reason I got so passionate because I don't think he does. I think he genuinely means the classic video gamer challenge.
Yep.
Then no, I want there to be an emotional challenge or a different form of challenge. But if we're referring to difficulty, no, there are some games that could be
The strength of video games is that you interact with them, and instead of just watching character, you play them. So there has to be the way I was interpreting it means there's got to be some. You have to make decisions. You have to overcome something.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I mean,
Otherwise,
from a
what's the
difficulty point of view, I know a lot of people that think games have to be difficult. Like the Capcom mentality is what I've always called
I agree.
it, and I don't like that. In 99% of my games, I want it to just be a piece of piss. I really do. I just want to play it and enjoy it.
I mean, in the ideal world, games can offer both. Like it's become more popular recently for games to offer a story mode or a normal mode.
That's
So story
fine.
mode is, as you say, you walk through and you'll breeze through any combat or whatever.
Like the bloody novelist.
Like the novelist, yeah.
Mass Effect does it as well, right? There's a story version and the gameplay version.
You know what? The novelist redeems itself with those offering those two options in many respects. I think. I know you're not a fan of the game, but it did the right thing by saying,
Oh, my children.
we
are
can have a gaming
sad.
element.
Fucking get
There are
done.
games that I played that I love, and they piss me off because I keep dying at sections. I'm like, that's why I'm not completely. And people are going to come mental at me now, but that's why I'm not completely adverse to the whole Nintendo. I'll walk you through it kind of thing.
Once
It's
you
like-
die a certain amount of time, Mario does it really well. You die a certain amount of times, and you can pick up that item if you want.
But there you go. But with the game at Mario, I would never use it because I enjoy the
can't imagine
Mario.
I think that's a bigger design problem,
That's
though.
a design, but that's a game at fault. Not
But no,
that-
with the
I don't agree with that.
you're saying
Game's
about The
not
Last of Us. It's like when you get killed by the clickers, I'm like, it just takes me completely out of it. So, but what's the alternative? You can't die, or what? What and it's difficult, and it again highlights the problem with narrative-based video games that the agency that you commit essentially is not the same as the narrative.
That's true. But I mean, with something like The Last
she's
of Us-
invisible, and this is why Ellie is invisible. And that is why, as everyone who knows and finishes the game knows, when it's revealed that she was actually just a made-up best friend, that's when the game gets its real emotional kick. When you're like, shit, Joel went all through The Last of Us thinking that Ellie was a real person, but it was just an imaginary friend. And that's what really hurt me about it. And then it all made sense. So really got
and then they blow up all the banks in New
thank
York.
fuck. I tuned out because I was reading into it.
The Last of Us finishes with Ellie she just fades away.
fuck off.
Yeah.
That
She's
was-
waving.
Fades away. She's waving.
and then it star wipes.
I was
and
just
then
actually-
Star Wars, and there's like
Yeah.
music that just goes.
I was about to get so angry
And then-
then.
In that
Joel-
hotel room with Tyler Durden.
Oh,
And then Joel
so
Joel
good.
stares off into the distance and goes, "I can't believe she wasn't real."
And his
then it fades to
daughter,
black.
his daughter comes in the PS4 version. I saw it the other day.
But it's like in the
and,
clouds.
Yeah,
isn't
she
it?
comes in
like
the clouds.
Silver's dad.
Yeah. And
Fuss
for
her.
some
He
reason,
reaches
she's
out.
got Darth Vader's voice now.
Yeah,
It
that's
doesn't.
really strange.
He reaches out and then the dust just falls.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
And
It's
then-
emotional.
And then Joel takes his beard off, and he reveals it was just like a beard warmer, like in South Park. It's not a real beard, and you're like, "Fuck!" All this time I thought it was a real beard, but instead,
no
it was
wonder his
fake.
brother was so pissed off with
That's
him.
it. That's it. And then there's an advert for Gillette, and it ends credits. And you think, "Fuck!" It was all a big marketing campaign.
Druckmann, you madman.
Can you believe
You've
it?
done it.
Yeah, can you believe it?
There is one last question before we move on to Miller Instinct. We'll make it a quick one, but it's just because I'm interested to hear your answers. So, referencing the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, what thing from your childhood would you like to see turned into a game? Asked Jonathan Pinder. Straight away.
Jace and the Wheeled Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
That was good because you could have in-car and out-car section.
Visionaries.
Yep.
Did anyone read the? I'm not sure if this might be an age thing, but did anyone read the Redwall books by Brian Jakes? Oh my god, I would love to see that as like an action RPG or something. It'd be so good.
I hope you get your wish.
I doubt it. It's maybe a little
Renford
past the time.
Rejects. What was that?
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy Dolls. Yes.
Be an RPG like
Around the
Side of
Bend.
Light, Round the Bend.
Yeah.
Thundercats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of Power Rangers, yeah.
He-Man.
No, fuck Power Rangers. Well, Power Rangers was shit when I was a kid.
Yeah,
but I
I
was
did too. Actually, to be
two.
fair.
Yeah? Well, that's not my fault. That's your parents'
The worst
fault.
thing about Power Rangers is the fucking intro.
Yeah.
With the solo. We're going to over solo. No need for all that solo. And I like solos. That's over soloing whoever wrote that.
It's like Dragon Force wrote it.
Knight
It
Rider,
was, yeah.
but better.
Do you remember the Knight Rider game that came out? That was
By
pretty
Davalex.
shocking. Yeah, that was pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
Bought it though.
Where there was wasn't there a button to just look at the front of the car when you were driving, like the intro to the show,
Yeah.
but you then couldn't
That's
see
a feature in the game.
where you were going.
Sorry, my answer to that question is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because
Yeah, I would
fuck
say
Michael
that.
Bay. Because
No, I like the look of that new movie. I think it looks okay.
fucking ridiculous.
I know it's bad to say.
You wanna see-
We actually created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That-
Me and your dad, April, mate. Oh, fuck off.
Are you saying,
good Judge
are you
Dredd
saying you
bastard.
missed the recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that was...
Bam, 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 bam,
Yeah, but
bam, bam.
I want Turtles in Time again. Done not
Nah,
this remake.
if you go
thing
back
they
and
did.
play
Also,
Tales in
I tried
Time.
Turtles in Time
I
arcade
had to
version was
reference them onto
amazing.
my pants right now.
What? Why?
Turtle pants, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm wearing turtle pants.
Fucking weird.
Why is that weird?
You just you just use a sentence. I'm referencing everyone to my pants. We're trying to do a podcast about video games. here,
Yeah, and I'm
Simon.
letting you know that right now I'm wearing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
Well,
pants.
most video games are pants.
Nice.
Turtle pants.
And with that, we'll move on to Miller Instinct.
Tonight I dine on turtle soup.
If you could change the amount of calories in any piece of food, what would it be? So if you could turn anything that tastes delicious but make it healthy, what would it be?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Easy.
Pizza's the greatest food ever made.
Meat Feast Pizza, 2 calories. Fucking yes.
Yeah. Chicken supreme pizza, stuffed crust with some form of garlic bread magically woven into it, and it's like
And a Coke.
and it's just all protein. It's like 300 grams of protein, 0 carbs, and essential fats.
Right.
There you
So
go.
there you go.
Too easy. Too easy. You didn't even struggle. That was. You walked into that question and you walked out again. We need.
Okay,
we
now
need
I've got one.
leave
I've
the
got a
emotions
Miller Instinct
start.
question.
Go
Go
on
on.
straight.
Right. You are one of the two. New Gears game, new Metallica album.
Boom.
Choose one. There's not another of the other.
Ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
yeah.
Ever.
New Metallica album. It's not hard. I've got
okay.
3
See,
gigs.
All right.
This is,
Shit,
this
he's-
is links to
The,
that.
the ongoing, your ongoing life,
Oh.
or another Metallica album which you can listen to once.
What do you mean your ongoing life?
So, saying
you
you love
live-
Metallica more than you love yourself, right? A higher power, Metallica. Okay. Would you rather live, but there was never any more Metallica, or would you sacrifice yourself
So the
Be
world
for-
could experience.
so there could be
it.
more Metallica for more
Yeah.
people?
You get
not.
to listen to the album before you die, though. That's what
Yeah.
it said. And they'll play it at your funeral.
So when I die, look, any scenario of me dying is not going to be one that I pick.
You
I wouldn't
self-
die.
You just
Man.
sold out Metallica.
Metallica doesn't exist anymore because of you.
That wasn't no part. That was part of the thing.
No, I'm changing the game.
It was. That
Well,
was.
So right, but then I don't exist. So Metallica may as well not exist.
Oh, Simon Miller thinks
No,
he
because
is
if I
Metallica.
can't enjoy
it's-
Metallica because I'm dead, then what difference does it make if
You
they
do,
still
though.
go
You
on
get
or
to
not?
use
What-
it before you
But
die.
other people.
Yeah,
I don't care about what people think. Well, actually, I do, but not if it means I'm dead.
but
No,
Wait
I don't wanna die.
until
We all know how
they
your
hear
movie
about
ends.
this.
I don't want to die. Look,
also, I'm going to assume that this was made
Muscle
public,
bastards.
so the rest of the world now knows that you didn't sacrifice yourself. And
no,
Metallica
look,
has
I'm
been
not going to sacrifice
extinguished.
myself so Metallica can release another album.
Think of the
That's
death threats you
insane.
get. Someone would probably murder you as a result of that.
They
and
wouldn't.
then you would,
They wouldn't.
No, they definitely would.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. Look, I love Metallica, but if I die, then I can't appreciate Metallica anymore.
But
so it's
other
pointless.
people can.
Yeah.
But that doesn't do anything for me. I'm 6 feet under.
Yeah, but
So like, I get nothing from that. I get nothing from other people experiencing
it's your
Metallica.
final gift to the world. Before
I don't want. I
go
don't.
on to the
Why? I
next
don't want to
place.
give this gift to the world. There's no need.
Selfish. That is.
Yeah, you're right.
absolutely
It is selfish. You're right. It is selfish. How's your job?
Uh,
Secure.
It's pretty good.
Safe.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
We're doing one more or not?
Brett, what are we looking at? Have you seen anything?
Yeah, one
Pratt's
second.
he's going through your pictures, Pratt.
He's reading my
Just having
fucking,
a
he's reading my
look.
fucking text.
I am actually, yeah. Who's, no, I won't say that.
Hey, baby. Last night was really great. Can't wait to see you again. Love, Chrissy, baby.
Chrissy, baby.
XOXO. P.S. I lost my
Hugs
keys
and kisses.
again because I'm not very good at life.
God damn it.
Going off the back of the Metallica question, this comes from William Bray. Sorry, the first question was from Christoire Croston, I think.
Christoire Cross.
That's
Just
how
laugh
it's
at somebody's
spelled.
name. Just laugh at somebody's name casually. Don't worry about that, Chris War.
William Bray asks, Bratters is trapped in a burning building,
Oh,
but
shit.
That one. Leave him in there. Leave him in there. Whoever.
all right, well, but Metallica need a frontman for their gig. Which one do you run to?
Come on, Simon. You make the
Wait.
decision here.
The question is,
Right,
over
you're
to my
between
left.
between two buildings. There's a gig
On the
going,
left.
Metallica gig to your left. Bratters is in a burning building to your right. But the guitarist from Metallica runs to you. Said,
How,
"Look,
Simon, how?
frontman
This is-
drops out. We need a frontman."
I've had dreams that are worse than this. So you're trying to tell me I get to play with Metallica,
But
and then
he
when I'm
burns
done,
to
Chris
death.
Pratt is burned to death.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic situation on all levels. I'll go home and it'll be peaceful and lovely. This is wonderful.
I'm going to fucking remember that. One day you're going to be in a burning building and...
Do you know what? Even if I am, I don't want you saving me. I'll tell you that right now. My life would not be worth living
You'd both
if I had to
die.
go through every day that you saved me from a burning building.
I'll be sitting like in a house opposite watching One Piece or something.
No,
actually
you'd be
burned to death.
your band that you'd have to go and play for is the fucking Thrills.
Oh,
So imagine that.
Yeah.
A man burned to
Yeah,
death to
Chris,
play
we
with
need
fucking
We
Thrills.
were sat in the office today while Chris Pratt played us all the Thrills. That well-remembered band from 2006 or whenever it was.
I also, you'd be close enough that you'd hear it as well. That's
yeah,
important to me.
that's
But yeah, I wouldn't want you saving me if I was in a burning building. I
Right.
couldn't wake up every day and remember that it was you that saved my life.
Oh.
I'd rather be dead. There you go. Metallica situation, no, but that, I'd rather be dead. I'd rather be killed.
But there is a tangible benefit to you being dead in that instance.
Exactly,
so.
yeah, you're right.
Alright,
You're right.
okay.
So there we go, Miller Instinct.
So, yeah.
That one was quite good.
Yep.
That one was quite good. So more like that. That was quite
I
good.
did read that one. I thought I might ask it, but if I'm asking
But don't-
myself, it puts added pressure on you.
There's no point saying this because people don't listen. But don't focus on things that I like. Just come up with random questions. Like, that's what it should be about. Like, don't worry about protein or lifting weights or Metallica or wrestling. Don't worry about any of that. Just think of a question. Think of an interesting, back and forth dichotomy question and go with
Do
it.
we think that the rote learning of knowledge in schools is far too Victorian?
So there you go. We're quite a good one. We could get really serious.
You're not going to address it now.
I'm not going to answer it now without doing my research. But stuff like that.
Cool. Well, that wraps up the Video Game UK podcast.
Before we wrap up,
I was about to say.
go
that
on,
as
go on.
well. We have a podcast competition that
Okay.
ends next week. We were amused by the title Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. We've got a forum thread on the site where you can come up with a better name than that, design some box art, do something funny with it.
Trailer if you want.
And if you are our favourite entry, then you will win a video game
From shop2.net.
up to the value of £50. Which is pretty cool.
That
isn't
as
it?
well.
Did you click at me?
Yes.
Right, meeting after this.
Burning in a burning building. That's where the
Well, I
meeting
listen
take
to
place.
Metallica records.
We also do a really dumb gallery video showing our favourite ones as well. And so if you want to do something funny, design a silly joke about Borderlands, then please do that, and we'll enjoy it immensely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, please send me your favourite death screens in games. And we should all promote our Twitter handles. We never do that.
Fucking morbid.
No, I just want to. There are some good death game over screens. Some of them are really clever. I just like send me your favourite ones. It's at
Favourite
Simon Miller 316. But let's all promote our Twitter handles. Go on, Burns.
Mine's at the Steve Bernio.
Oh, I hate mine. It's at the Bratters. Listen, all right. Whoever you are, if you're listening to this,
Have you got a
she
secret
has
life?
the Twitter handle at Bratters, and I've been after that for
So
a
you
long
want the
time.
same
mate.
handle?
I've sent Facebook messages to
Are you harassing this girl?
to 3 different
You're harassing women on the internet.
asking whether or not
Last week you admit you're a sex pest. Now you're harassing girls on the internet. You're a terrible human being.
You're on a register for that.
they're not using the Twitter profile.
No, hang on a minute. You
So
want
I've
to change your name
I've just
from...
sent out a friendly message. Plenty of
What's
smiley-
wrong with the Bratters?
Yeah.
It's I don't.
Steve's is the Steve Bernio.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Mine's Simon Miller 316 after the legend that is Stone Cold Steve Austin. It doesn't matter.
I'm at inverted Brett
go.
because it's...
I hate Brett's. I really hate Brett's. I don't understand it. I know when he says it, makes. But I just read it as invert Brett.
Yeah, it's inverted Brett because of invertebrates.
I
No,
get
we
it.
got we got
I get
it.
it.
We got it.
I don't get...
It just
I don't know what
reads
the
like
explanation is.
invert Brett. I don't know what I mean. When I try and tweet you, I get it wrong about 8 times. I don't know what it is.
I regret bringing up. I feel like I need to.
You have called
I'm-
someone out on the podcast, man. That is
Yeah.
not cool.
I think I'm
Look what
going
you've done.
to bleep her name.
If you're going to
Yeah, in fact, you probably should.
Yeah.
Usually I'd say don't, but I actually think you
Yeah.
should because I think it's
Sorry,
really
Emily.
bad.
You'll be summoned.
follow at Fart instead, or Barnabas.
Yeah.
Barnabas is the man.
What is her name? He's got a lot of bleeping to do now. I'd just like to make his life a little
Who
bit
have we got a
harder,
bleep again?
There was a time when these podcasts didn't require much editing and post. That time has passed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to tell us about the women you're harassing online, then I think we need to.
God.
All these private messages to...
saying, "Listen, love, if you don't give me your Twitter handle, terrible things will happen to you.
There's only one Bratters in this world.
How dare you make me have that in front of my Twitter handle?
It's done in a very friendly fashion. It's like,
Dear dead
Smiley
person, if you don't give me
Listen,
my fucking
You have 2
handle,
weeks.
listen, this
There's
is
a burning building.
I
next
know
door.
you. Yeah, I know you got a dog.
this is a bit out of the blue, but I've noticed that you may have the Twitter handle at Bretters. If you're not using it, would be much obliged if you'd
Make
I know where you live.
make this generation's Highlander. So instead of living down the ages and killing each other for the prize is actually just the Twitter feed handle
So
that many of them want. So you
Yeah.
have to go and instead of cutting people's heads off with swords, you have a tweet off and you cut them up with words.
Saying that though, I had an email of Twitter, something from someone saying, because I own Simon Miller as well. For reasons we won't get into now, because I'll get in trouble. I changed to @Simon Miller 316.
Ooh.
But yeah, he tweeted me saying, "Can I have it?" And I was like,
did you
"No,
yeah,
you can't."
that's fine, and I'm completely cool with that response. Did you find that weird that someone even asked?
Yes, really weird.
I sent it to 3 different people. I don't know which. I didn't know which one it was.
Because you've established that you harass girls on the internet,
Yeah.
making you
Were
a
they all
terrible,
women as
terrible
well?
person.
Were they all women?
Yeah, of course,
This is really bad.
Is it really?
This is really, yeah. This is really.
Yeah.
It's
You see
sending
how this is
random
building?
messages to
They're not
people.
random. There's a
In the
No,
jury's eye,
random.
how is this building?
Yeah.
There's a man and he's
Did
got
you
a
offer
quiff.
to meet them in person as
No,
well?
no, it was all very friendly, and it was.
What about money?
Did any of them get back to you?
No, because
well, that sums
when you
it up,
send when you
doesn't
send
it?
Facebook messages to someone you're not friends with-
Facebook? You've gone to Facebook? Oh, this is getting weird.
Why do you tweet them?
I
Tweet
They
them.
don't use the Twitter account. That's my
Yeah, but
point.
they still may
He
check
followed
the
them
Twitter
on
account.
Facebook.
They still may check the Twitter account.
Oh, he followed
They
them on
don't.
This is
Facebook.
social
I didn't follow them on
stalking.
Facebook. I sent them a message. I sent a message.
Oh, no.
No friend request
let me
was
just
sent.
let me just check their pin interest. Oh yeah, little cheeky follow there. Yeah. Oh,
me just,
Snapchat. Let me send them a picture of my penis. That will get my Twitter handle I want.
Let me just park across the street from where they live.
You've blown this up. You've blown this up.
Oh,
You know
look,
what
there's a bush outside our house. Let me just get in this bush.
You know
Let
what
me
this
just
is
take these
like?
trousers down.
This is exactly like the scene in the Terminator when the Terminator comes back through time and he goes to the phone book and he looks down through all the Sarah Connors
exactly,
and he goes
yeah.
and terminates each one of them
Yeah,
until he
it
gets
is
the
like that.
one that fucking he needs.
All I can see is that bit where Homer Simpson comes out of the bush and goes back in. That's all I can see you doing in front of these poor
It was
women's
just
houses.
a Facebook message. It was.
You've really
It was-
fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up big
You
time.
proper-
This is really.
Right.
They're tracking you right now.
Call an end to this meeting.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Okay. I need to go. I'm going to send some follow-up messages. Just
No, don't stop sending her messages. For goodness sake, man.
Listen.
You don't double
I've had a
text. You
disc-
don't double Facebook
Exactly.
message.
You do not
Especially
double
people you
Facebook
don't
message.
know.
You only double dip the chip.
I've had
You
a
double
discussion
dip.
with my
You
double
colleagues.
dipped it, and then you dipped it again.
Oh God! Right. Okay, cool. That was the Video Gamer UK podcast. I think.
Be about 5 minutes long
Thank
now.
you for joining us.
If we were on a chart there, it started well sensible. Like we had
Yeah.
proper chats about YouTube comments, and then we ended with terrible stories about what Chris does.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, Mr. Stephen Burns.
Yeah. Don't talk to me.
Mr. Simon Miller
Never, ever, ever don't think you can achieve your dreams.
and Brett Lips.